What's being engineered for our well-being in today's episode of Engineering Wellbeing at Jinshan?
On your watch is writing 60%, but actually you feel good. You think you have slept good, and your watch is telling you you didn't sleep good. Then it creates stress, it creates pressure. I like to say this sentence: sleep is on the same time the problem, the symptom, and the solution of a lot of our issues. You're right, yeah. That's called social jet lag.
Welcome to Engineering Wellbeing at Jinshan, a podcast where we explore well-being as a bridge. In each monthly series, we take one theme and explore it through four complementary lenses: a systems-level framing, a technology perspective, a specialist or scientific viewpoint, and a cultural Chinese context lens. Because well-being is never one-dimensional. It's biology, psychology, social, cultural, and technology, all at once. Welcome to the Engineering Wellbeing podcast here at Jinshan. Today we have a very special guest, the owner and producer of the podcast, Dr. Paul Rochon. Dr. Paul, can you please introduce yourself to those who are not familiar with who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Gerald. My pleasure to be here today. So I'm a doctor in cognitive science, and I found this company called Engineering Wellbeing, where we are helping people to get better with their body and their mind. So at the same time, I'm the head of the sleep center here at Raffles Beijing Hospital.
Now, you also started a podcast, this podcast. Can you tell us just a little bit about what it's about and its purpose?
Right, so this podcast is about well-being. Well-being is a concept which is directed from the change from the medical perspective. So we used to have the medical paradigm when people feel bad and need to go to hospital to check and to feel better. But what we are looking for is to find a way to make people feel even better than the normal way. That's a well-being perspective. When you don't feel anything wrong, but you just want to perform better. You just want to feel better. You don't want to sleep better. You want to have your body together and your mind with it together. So the goal of this podcast is really to talk about, it's not you feeling bad, but you want to feel just better in your life. And we are going to cover multiple topics.
Well, one of the topics for this month, we will introduce with a short video clip, and I want to get your response if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we call this the 10:30 p.m. moment. And so many of the audience can relate to this. See if any of these things happen in your home at 10:30 at night. All right, so Dr. Paul is a sleep expert and also an expert in many different things. In our comment box below, type if you have any of these similar events that occur at your house at 10:30 at night. So Dr. Paul, just from watching this 20-second clip, what's your initial response?
Some good and some bad behavior. But I will say common life. That's what I see here. It's like social life, work life, normal life. And one thing that's happening is like everybody is going to sleep after. So I love this topic of sleep because it brings everybody together. It brings every kind of religion, race, any kind of gender. Everybody is going to sleep at some point, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I see, I will say, in this picture.
Oh, excellent. Because this month, our theme is sleep. And so I know that we're going to be talking about sleep in different areas and different lenses. Can we kind of just walk through those one by one about the different lenses that we're going to be viewing sleep under this month? So with the first lens, can you talk a little bit about sleep in society for our audience?
Yes, so today we are going to talk about the general topic of sleep and the well-being. And then I should mention the other one. Yeah.
Sure.
So we see Engineering Wellbeing podcast is always 4 different lenses in any topic. This month we're going to start with this general idea about what means sleep, and how we can empower sleep as a society, as a system. The second one is going to be about an expert, which is going to talk about a neurologist, a person which is running one of the last clinics about sleep in China, very very high level. Then we will have like a specialist on technology around the topic. And then we will have someone more the Chinese perspective of the consumer. So, yeah.
Wow, sounds like a very interesting month of sleep.
The sleep months.
So, Dr. Paul, I know you have a lot of experience with sleep. What do you feel, for example, with our audience? Most of us are sitting at home watching this, maybe scrolling on the phone or watching it on a podcast. What do you feel basically is happening with society and sleep right now, just in general?
Sleep, I like to say this sentence. Sleep is on the same time the problem, the symptom, and the solution of a lot of our issues. So the topic of sleep is always taking everything together. It's taking the environment, it's taking the individual, it's taking the groups, it's taking the time, it's taking your psychology, taking your biology. It's really in the center of everything which is happening in your life.
Wow. Yeah, that seems like a lot to unpack for this month. Now, are there any specific strategies that you would say most people tend to do right now that maybe are not the most beneficial for them, so that we can see kind of the issues that arise with sleep?
I think it's good to start by what people do, not do wrong, but think is right. Okay? The classic one, it's all the information you would find online without looking too much. It's you need to sleep 8 hours.
Oh, so that's true.
No, so that's not true. So let's take it out directly. Yes, we know that the average human being sleep around 7.5 hours. That doesn't mean that's what you have to sleep. And that doesn't mean you have to sleep it any time, because if you sleep 8 hours during the daytime, you're not going to be feeling as good as if you have sleep 8 hours during the nighttime, right?
Yes.
So if you are a little scientist, we understand that it's not about the 8 hours.
Ah, yeah, I know that's one untruth that you see everywhere, that you should sleep 8 hours of sleep. So that's good knowledge to have.
That's one of them.
Now, also looking at our audience, we know that usually when people sleep, sometimes you sleep by yourself, other times you sleep in a group, like in a family or maybe a company outing where you have to sleep with a colleague. How do collective sleep patterns help or work against each other? For example, when you sleep with other people.
This is interesting because, yes, sleep, it's really something which is belong to your biology first. So your biology will tell you when is the time to sleep. Okay? So when we sleep in a group of people, everybody is a little bit different. As long as you are with human being, it's not a big deal because everybody have kind of the same rhythm. But for example, if you sleep with your animal, with your pets, the system of the sleeping of the pets is different than yours. So the pets might wake up during the night and wake you up without you even realizing it. So sleeping with animal is not a very good thing, actually. But the same, what I like to say with a partner, the most important is that your sleep is a high quality. So that means you don't wake up during the night. And so to have a sleep of a good quality, you better sleep, I would say, alone, actually.
Okay.
The best of the best sleep is without being in a group. Because in a group, everybody will have like a different style of sleep. And if you have a snorer in the middle, for example, it's very obvious that this one will wake you up. But it can be just a movement of someone, for example, wake you up. Or just the fact that you are worried for this person will wake you up. So all these kind of little things about, you need to take it into consideration. Yeah.
Wow. For our student population, make sure that you stay tuned for our future episodes. I know that many students sleep together in roommates, so we might unpack some very useful information for you. So Dr. Paul, that's a very interesting point, especially bringing in the animals into it, because that could possibly be another thing that needs a little bit more research. Can I ask you, as an expert, tying in well-being, could you briefly just touch upon how sleep influences moods? Not too deeply, but just, is there a relationship at all
Yes.
between sleep and moods?
Yeah, that's the angle is important here. Why? I will go back to why we do sleep today, because everybody tried to feel better by taking care of their nutrition, their moods, their sport, the partner, and all this kind of relationship or this kind of thing. So everybody tried to take care of themselves, but what we find out is that they don't have the sleep foundation that allowed them to take care of those problems. So in a hierarchy of the problem, sleep is the number one, because it is related to all of them. We're going to talk about the mood here, but it's related to your relationship, the way you're going to connect with the people around you, in your work, with your family, with your partner. Is related with your capacity of doing the sport. Is relating with your capacity of having the nutrition getting at the right place or going the right way inside of your body. So all of them is all linked with sleep, but the sleep is the first one. On the same time, we can influence some of them to make the sleep better as well. So you understand the correlation. Yes, my sleep is better, my mood will be better. But you can help to have your stress level going down. That will bring your sleep as well getting better. So the sleep is a measurement system that we will use to make all those things together. Yeah.
Wow. That is some great engineering. If it's possible, Dr. Paul, I'd like to bring in one more aspect of engineering. You mentioned sports. Is there anything that athletes need to pay attention to in regard to well-being and sleep?
So athlete, yeah, I work, so I used to be a rugbyman, a high-level sport, so I like to take care of a sportsman. And what I realize with the sports people is not only their performance will be better compared to the one which is not doing it, at the same level of training every day, so they can recover faster, their performance will be better, their capacity of imagination, of visualization, so their movement will be better as well. So the increase is pretty high actually. I will say between number one and number two, the one who take care of his sleep will get maybe 5 to 7% better than the number two because of the sleep. It's a huge difference. But what we see the best is that the longevity of their capacity of performing. So you are performing much more now, but your capacity of staying in your game for a long time is achievable because you are sleeping better. So it's very important for sports people. Footballers still maybe used to stop playing at 30 years old. Now they can play until 38, 40. Look, Ronaldo is taking care of his sleep, and he's still being one of the best in the world. There's no problem on that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So sleep, also nutrition and other aspects may influence well-being?
Also, what I was saying, sleep is a base. Then the other aspect goes on the top of it, or you can use sleep as a measurement of are you doing the right things. In nutrition, of course, nutrition is a very important way as well in your well-being. A lot of aspects, I would say, in the well-being. Your body position, your balance, your capacity of understanding what is going on, and your capacity of expressing yourself. This is another level of what is a well-being. So, yeah, your mood, of course, and your psychology trait, I would say, the way you understand the world and the way you learn. Yeah.
Wow. So we've talked about sleep for athletes, sleep for families, sleep for students, a lot of different topics of sleep.
Yes.
Why do you think, as a society, why do you think sleep isn't talked about more?
I think it's invisible. I think the problem, and that's what we want to do today. We want to bring visible the invisible. Sleep, it starts to be a little bit trendy, I would say. I can see that now, and I think you're going to talk about it with all the technology in the next podcast, because the technology is bringing the capacity. I mean, almost all technology is analyzing sleep now, right?
Yes.
So that's where I come from. The true story is that is like 22 years ago, I create a watch who was waking you up at the right time. Okay, so that's what I said before. It's not about how long you sleep, but when you wake up at the right time, you will feel much better the rest of the day. When you wake up naturally, not with an alarm. So we have something waking you up at the right time. So we were working on that 22 years ago. And what I understand is that now all those technology are are interesting because you can see your sleep, but people still don't know what to do with it. Because it becomes visible to them what is their sleep, but it's before. So it's not proactive like what we're doing right now. Well-being is proactive. Measurement is you understand what is going on. So the second problem here is that when you wake up in the morning and you see on your watch is writing 60%, but actually you feel good, you think you have slept good, and your watch is telling you you didn't sleep good, then it creates stress, it creates pressure. And people want to be better and better, and they will arrive the night, they will try to change everything, or they will come to see a professional like me and saying they want to change that. And it creates what we call orthosomnia, which is a stress link with the sleep measurement device.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That seems like a topic that we're going to explore with the technology lens.
Yes.
That seems quite important. And so just touching upon briefly this topic of stress, especially from different devices and the pace of the world today. How do we kind of present that to make that visible?
Yes. To get a good sleep, I will say there is three things. To get a good sleep, three things, and stress is one of them. So the stress is so big to define stress, right?
Yeah.
But I will define it like this. We call it the autonomous nervous system. Your capacity of always being alert, ready for action. Okay? So when your body is always like turning to outside, trying to check what is going on, always kind of a little bit scared on the same time. You know, this kind of anxiety of feeling? Yes.
Yeah, right.
So this is what we call the stress that is going to impact your sleep. That's one of them, okay? This stress when you arrive the night, and you are more a person which is always like taking care of this kind of needs or feeling of fear, then your sleep will be much more light because your brain will not stop or rest. You will always trying to be like, oh, for example, you will hear something, you will wake up directly. You see, like when you have the mom just got a baby, they will have this capacity of autonomous very high because that's the wire is like this now. And after having the baby, when the baby starts to do the sleep, they have difficulty to go back to a normal sleep because they still, it has helped them, it has created something positive for them in order to achieve what they have to do. And therefore the body remembers that they should stay in this level of stress. You understand what I mean? So the stress here on this one is like, how do I disconnect? How do I let my brain stop care about what is going on outside? So we got a couple of things to do on that, for sure.
Wow.
You might see it with the specialist of neurology. He might, in this episode, I think he will explain. But I'm going to give a couple of things later.
Wow, yeah, that's quite deep. Now,
so that's one for stress.
And there's more.
The second one for stress. Stress, the second one is when your brain is turning all the time about what you are thinking. Okay, so that's a different part. It's more a psychological part. You see, the first one I was saying is your biology, your nervous system alert, and this one is your brain thinking. So he's thinking, why? He's thinking because he learned that thinking for him is important. But you shouldn't bring this thinking in your bedroom. And how you take it out of the bedroom is by allowing yourself to think outside of the bedroom, putting everything on a notebook, for example. That's a very good one. There is some technique to make it very, very good, but the principle is that then you go in a bed, and then you don't link your bed with thinking. So that means you don't do work in your bed. You don't read, you don't talk when you are in your bed. So you just go in a bed for sleeping. Therefore, you link the bed with only sleeping, and you stop thinking inside. So you will not wake up during the night with the thinking in your head. You know what I mean?
Wow, so
those two stress level, yeah.
Those pictures we saw in the beginning at the 10:30 moment, that makes sense now why some of them are good habits and some of them need to be improved habits.
But they were working outside of the bedroom. I have no problem at that, actually. What they were doing was quite okay. The number one, it was with the light. The light is down, it's dark everywhere, and they have some maybe glasses blocking the blue from the computer. They are working late, but it's not impacting too much their biology. So in that time, if they are used to do that, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Paul, one other aspect I'm curious about. Does temperament and personality have anything to do with good quality sleep?
I think that's what we just talked about. your personality of being an anxious person, this is number one. This one will impact you for sure. There is a lot of type of personality like this, which is, it's not bad or good, it's just the way we are. Very often is linked as well with your nutrition, actually. That. It's very interesting to see that your anxiety is very often linked with your nutrition.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so when you have this kind of feeling, the psychology is helping for sure, but the nutrition is good to go to see. So what else as a personality? I will say people who are always looking for, you will see some personality who sleep like crazy. Like they can fall asleep anywhere. They will sleep for 10 hours. Nobody can wake them up. And then that makes the person next to them very jealous about them. Yes, I think we have personality. We have another thing that we call the chronotype. Are you more from the evening or more from the morning? This, I believe, is something which is changing during the year. When you are kids, you are more from the evening, which is normal. It's due to your melatonin, actually. And because it's not fixed yet, so the teenager has the melatonin everywhere, he cannot fall asleep easy. So you want to get up later. So it's a biological necessity for them. So the society is pushing them to try to wake up early, and they feel so bad because the sleep has start later, so you have to finish later. So we can see this impact, for example. And then later in your life, your chronotype go back to the morning, or go back like a little kids, actually, even when we are after 60 or 70 years old, you will go back to like a baby sleep, like 3 hours per year, 3 hours per year.
Well, that sounds like a very possible friction point in between different generations living in the same house.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can see that, yeah. That's a very good point. Then it's impacting everybody. Here, I will say this one as well. I like when you go inside of the family. The kids will sleep the way the parents sleep. So if the parents sleep at a certain time, the kids usually will follow. They will learn this. But not only the way you go to bed, it's more at what time you get up. So if the parents get up every day at the same time, even the weekend, the kids will not do it. Because you will have a habit inside of the house that something is happening every morning. And I will say, if you have one thing to take today as a family, is this one. Is you wake up every day at the same time, is going to change your whole biological clock rhythm. You're going to make it right. The people who sleep later the weekend thinking they are catching up on sleep, what they do, they destroy their biological clock for the next week. They don't catch up on sleep. They just create a new jet lag that you will have to catch up the next week.
That's interesting. So a sleep jet lag. That's in the comments. Share your thoughts. What do you think about this sleep jet lag concept? I think that's something that a lot of people are not even remotely aware about. So is there somewhere outside of our future podcast, is there something that you would recommend where people could learn more about that? Because that seems something that's not only invisible, but not even something that's even in the field of knowledge. Most people
It's not very well known, you're right, yeah. That's called social jet lag. So you can find, and the social jet lag, then it's linked with bad nutrition, for example. So you understand the jet lag is like this. The weekend you wake up later, so your body go later, like you do a jet lag, like for example 3-4 hours. So the Monday morning when you wake up, your body doesn't want to wake up because you have been programmed for 4 hours later, right? So you have done that the Saturday, the Sunday, and the Monday you want to wake up at 6 instead of 10 to go to work, but your body is programmed for 10 because you wake up at 10 the day before, okay? The sleep, you don't decide when you want to sleep. It's your body is telling you. And your body is telling you regarding at what time you wake up the day before. So whatever you want to go to bed tonight because something you have important is because you get up at a certain time, okay? So you arrive the Monday morning and you have 4 hour difference. So you feel so bad. Your body is not ready to wake up. So you start to have some thought. You need to find out why you feel so bad. And you start to put it on the people next to you. You put it on your partner, you put it on the work where you go, and that's what we call the Monday syndrome as well. You heard about the fact like the Monday we feel bad? Is because not because we are tired from the weekend. We are tired because today we have created jet lag for today, so I'm feeling bad today on Monday. So you're going to drink sugar, you're going to drink more coffee, you're going to eat some fat food, because your body is inside of the decreasing of the cold of the nervous system. So they're looking for energy. So you will have like a lot of bad habits linking with this feeling. But people just think it's because I'm tired from the weekend, so I will drink more coffee, and you make it even worse. And you need 4 to 5 days to recover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That long. And so I'm imagining that this is also quite impactful on work professionals like yourself that often travel in athletes. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. Right now, for example, is Ramadan or the Lent, so all have an impact because we have to juggle between all those data. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, let's look a little bit at the China perspective now. Something that's very unique to this podcast is that we present the view of what's happening within China with specialized topics. And so in China with sleep, as a professional that's worked with both foreigners and Chinese nationals, what are some things that you have seen that may need to be addressed?
What I like in China is that they have two different information. So in China, you have the China information, you have the traditional Chinese medicine, which is here for more than 3,000 years. Okay? So they use it. They always believe in this system, and they use as well the Western view on things. So what I like in China is I try to make it together. So in a Chinese medicine, what I just explained you about the social jet lag, in Chinese medicine, it exists already for many, many years. It's a concept of what time you have to go to bed in order to recover which kind of part of your body. But what we understand is that this can turn. That's what we bring from the Western thinking. So what I see in China is like people are very well open to well-being in China. They are really looking forward. They adopt technology easily. So you can see a lot of technology, and we're going to talk about that in the other podcast, like all the technology you can find in China. And then they are, as well, they care about themselves in order to don't make the family in pain. So the concept in China is like, if I'm not sick, if I take care of me, I'm taking care of my family. Instead of taking care of you, like in a Western thinking, you understand?
Yeah,
so the sleep for them is very important in a sense of like, okay, if I have to take care of me, first thing they will do is to buy a good mattress. The biggest market of sleep in China is mattress. That's very surprising, right?
Yes.
So mattress is everywhere. A lot of company everywhere and a lot of different things, even if they like to sleep on a harder things.
They tend to...
But they open, they try, they want to know, they will check, and they will try to adapt. The second one is Chinese medicine. In a sense of Chinese medicine, more the plant that will help you to relax, the smell, any kind of things that will help you naturally to help to go to sleep. Sleeping pills like you can find in Western country, very, very far actually in China. We are not there. Very, very few people are using it compared to the Western world, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I also know another China aspect, just looking at different demographic groups. Students have a lot more, well, I guess I shouldn't say a lot more, but they have a test called the Gaokao, or the entrance test. Have you found that for students, sleep and well-being is influenced by this lifestyle that goes around this test?
Oh yes, of course. That was one of my first work in 2009 here, to take care of the kids who were doing the Gaokao and to try to relieve the stress from them. It's for the people who from outside. Yeah, it's an insane, stressful moment in a life because it's unlocking your whole possibility for the rest of your life. Let's say that. So yes, if I see what I see in China is like they start to come to inquire for help, but maybe a little bit too late. And they arrive maybe 1 or 2 months before, or 3 weeks before the big event. But it's a systemic engine, the sleep and the stress. It's not something you change today for tomorrow. It's like it's an active way. Sleep you can change in about 3 weeks, I would say. But you need after to enjoy this sleep for a long time in order to be good when you arrive, right?
Yes. Wow. Well, would you say that generational sleeping pattern, for example, with the Gaokao or the entrance test, do you see it as generational, being passed down from parent to child, or is it something where it's just an individual case?
there is a component about the social pressure for sure. Yeah, family pressure, social pressure, cultural pressure. This, I don't think we can fight it. We can only adapt individually, I think.
Okay.
Of course, you have the policy of the government, which is introducing sport, for example, at a higher level in the school in China. It's very positive for that, because sport will help them actually to elevate the stress that generated by this issue. So I think, yeah, it's this policy, but if you want to go at a very good level, it's individualistic. And that's a lot of patients that I see. Family who have knowledge about it, who will bring their kids to us and to learn on how to sleep better, basically. Or international school who bring us to do some topic, or we create like a sleep champion inside of the school. We pick up one kid, which is very good kids, very good level, and we help him, we coach him as the best possible sleeper. And then after, he's just dilute the knowledge inside of the school. Instead of the adults, coming to teach, right?
That's a very good tip for schools. Maybe in the box below, school administrators, type what you think about this idea. Now, final thing with the China perspective is, because we're going to be having an interview with someone who's a very successful business person. What do you see as patterns in the business environment in general? Not just one particular industry, but across multiple industries. What do you see are some kind of general trends with sleep and sleep education here in China?
Yeah, I will start from the Western world and I will bring it to China. Yeah, I see the impact of well-being on the work, which is a very important one. And I think we advocate that quite a lot in our work. I think in a Western world, people start to see it a little bit more easy to understand. I'm talking about well-being and not wellness. The well-being is the measurement and the putting in place a program that help people to feel better, both physically and mentally. So sleep is one of them for sure. And I see people start to understand that if my staff is feeling better, then it's going to take care of my company much better. So I'm a CEO. Instead of taking care of my company, I take care of my staff. They will take care of my company. Basically, that's the way you want to see it. Like, it's not just HR work. I know that if my worker have the capacity to express fully his potential, so my money is well spent. The salary that I'm paying to this person. So the well-being is not just to tell him like you're a good person. The well-being is to make him the environmental as well. We didn't talk about that yet, but we are going to talk. The way you work, the way you sleep, when you arrive, if you have sleep well, you will work better. There is no doubt.
Yes, that's very true.
If you're not fighting with your partner, you will work better as well. So it's all about this kind of thing around that people start to be much more conscious in Occident, in Western world. In China, the big issue is this one. They used to have so much people that they were just replacing the people who were not good enough.
Yes, a huge population.
So they never really think about but now it's changing. It's changing in a sense of they have all the technology in China is very well advanced, much more than many Western countries, right?
Yes.
And so we can see that those people have the knowledge and you don't want to lose them in the company. So it's not only the money you pay them, it's everything that you do around to make their life feeling much better. So we can see as well the young generation, which is impacting that a lot in China. And that's one of the podcasts we are doing as well right now about the young generation, how they empower well-being in their everyday life and in their country, and how do they make it happen? Because it's them going to impact the future of all the industry.
Wow. Wow, yeah, so that's a unique perspective, because you have it, living here in China for so long and working with Chinese individuals as well as foreigners. And so that's greatly appreciated. All right, well, we've kind of looked at the broad overview of sleep, and we've kind of unpacked it into challenges. We've described the environment of it. And now I want to turn to not some deep level, but just some kind of surface level kind of solutions as we kind of engineer the well-being for this month. And so my first question would be, how can we get individuals to talk about sleep without judging one another?
I think sleep, it's already more easy to talk about it than talking about mental health, for example. Right? So The way to bring people is always to make a game or to talk about dreams or to talk about something which is dream. I like to use it because everybody have dream.
Yeah.
You like to talk about your dream. You will not talk about certain dream maybe, but you like to, people like to look what does it mean, so this kind of thing. So it's a common thing. So you can only easily share, I would say. The people who are shame or scared about sharing about sleep is more, they are scared about sharing, they are tired. So the concept is a little bit different here. It's like, oh, they will feel like I'm a lazy person or because I'm tired. But maybe actually this tiredness comes from something behind. Maybe it's because you stop breathing during the night, or maybe it's because your nervous system is not making you sleeping good. So this tiredness, you're not owning it. You can take care of it. But people will judge the fact that you are tired more than just what is your sleep.
Oh, wow. Well, even that vocabulary you're using, like tired, would you say there's any kind of universal definition to that, or is it just something that, again, is per individual?
I will use the word fatigue.
Ah, okay.
And because we have the same in French, but we don't have tired, I think, in French. Why I use fatigue? Because we have 4 to 5 different fatigue, and only one of them is recovered by sleep. So the fact like you feel tired during the day, it can be linked with something else, but it's not sleep which is going to help you. It can be that you have a bad sleep, like I said before, and then you are tired during the daytime, for sure. And if it happens, please take care of it, because go to a hospital or go to a specialist, because it's not normal to be tired the daytime. People just think it's my personality. Maybe I'm a little bit too old. Maybe I did too much sport. No, it's not normal to be tired in a chronic way, more than 3 weeks to 3 months in a row, okay? So the different fatigue you will find is that you have the physical fatigue. You did a lot of sport. Actually, the fatigue that you feel is because you don't have enough water or electrolyte or glucose inside of your body. So how to of course, you will sleep a little bit longer. When we are sportsmen, we will sleep maybe 1 more cycle, and that's good for them. The second one will be the mental fatigue. The mental fatigue when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't want to wake up. I'm still feeling tired. I don't want to be in this world. Why I'm going to go to a new nightmare after the nightmare I had during the night. So this is like the mental processing. But you feel tired. Your body is tired, but it's not sleep which is going to recover. You start a depression here. And actually sleeping more when you are in depression is the worst things to do. The way we cure people for seasonal depression is to make them sleeping less at the beginning. So you see the balance here. The third one I would say is the focus, the cognitive tiredness, which is you work for an hour and a half, and then you start to let it go. Your brain cannot concentrate anymore. You're not in a flow anymore. And this kind of tired or fatigue is to disconnect, to reconnect. So that's where we talk about alpha training, changing the environment, go for breathing and come back. This can be just 2-3 minutes, and then you can put your brain go back on something.
That is a lot of knowledge. And so for those of you watching, put your ideas below, talking about what type of fatigue do you think you need help with? Put it in the comment box. All right, well, Dr. Paul, as we kind of come to the end of the podcast, we have a tradition here to where we ask some lightning round, fire round questions where we simply just ask you a question and immediately what you think of kind of just let us know your response. Okay, so we'll choose 2 of these questions. And the first one is, how often do you think people should check their environment before they go to bed?
Oh, yes. We didn't talk about environment, but a lot.
Yes.
It's not, they should check before going to bed. They should check during the daytime. Then they don't need to check when they go to bed. So that's the goal of the environment. It's very important to have something which is bringing you to sleep, which is always the same things. You don't want your brain to think about something is not normal. You remember I'd say the anxiety is that. So you go inside of the bedroom with a lot of book and stuff everywhere, your brain is taken inside of that. If it's not normal, think about a teenager. You go in his bedroom, there is things everywhere. For the parents, it's impossible. But for him, actually, they make him feel safe. So the balance is here, is like, what makes you feel safe? Most important, okay? So checking environment is that, yes.
Wow, I know as a parent myself, as a teenager, most of us can relate when you walk into your teenager's room and it's just a complete mess. Wow, that's very, very good advice. All right, my second lightning round question or fire round question is, which do you feel is more beneficial, flexibility or consistency?
Flexibility in your consistency.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, consistency for sure of the wake-up time. This is the number one. Consistency on your wake-up time, you win for the rest of your life. Your mood, your biology, your capacity of living longer, everything. We have data going on that all the time. So your consistency of waking up, it's really the most important. Your flexibility of negotiating your stress, being able to adapt to the environment, your not being like a stress about the things which is you don't have or you have. The flexibility of your measurement of your sleep. So all those kind of things are important for your brain, for your nervous system. This is a flexibility. For your biology, the consistency. I put it like this.
Wow. Well, Dr. Paul, you've shared a lot of information with us today, and we look forward to the upcoming episodes about sleep. Before we conclude, is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers?
But stay with us. So every month, one theme, 4 different lengths, and we are here in China, Beijing. Thank you for being here today.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Paul, for your time today, and we look forward to working with everyone and seeing everyone in our next episodes. Take care and have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Engineering Wellbeing at Jinshan is about creating bridges between the biology, psychology, and social with a China perspective, where humans can function at their full potential. Engineering Wellbeing at Jinshan is about creating bridges between the biology, psychology, and social with a China perspective, where humans can function at their full potential.